Hey there, people. Hey there, everybody. This is your homework helper for today, and today we're talking about roundings. You should be able to round at any place value. Um, I could be able to write a number as wide as this screen, and you'd be able to round it to any place value because you know how to do it, and that's ultimately what we're trying to do here, right? And so this is lesson 8, and what we've been talking about is vertical number lines, and that's something that I really, really want you to be able to do. So I'm taking a look at the problem set. This is problem set. This is not your homework. Problem set, and this is number 1 for A. Basically what this is just an example, couple problems to be able to help you visualize what the heck is going on here so that you can do it on your own, okay? Pretty easy. Anyways, let's start. We're going to round this number here, 32 and 697 thousandths to the nearest tenth, hundredth, and 1. So let's start with the tenths, okay? What I want to do is I want to find out, ask myself, well, which one of these places is the tenths, right? And that's, I have my decimal place here, I have my decimal point, I have my ones here, and this is always a great place to start. And if I go to the right, I know that this is my tenths. These are the ones divided up into 10 pieces. This is my tenths. And so I know that's that. Well, how many tenths do I have? How many total tenths do I have here? I'm going to look at this right here. How many do I have? I have 326 tenths, right? This is just another way to say it, expanded form. I could say I have 326 times, I could say I have this 326 times 1/10. And that would be this up here, okay? And so I have 326. And if I'm counting up, I go, well, 324, 325, 326, 327 is my next one, would be 327. And so now I have my two places. When I'm rounding, okay, I'm either going to have 326 or I'm going to have 327. And to help me, I need to find that middle point. And in order to make a middle point, it's really super easy. You're just going to add a 5. So just add a 5 to the bottom number, 326.5. And I can go ahead now and I can put my decimals in to make it a little more clear if that's how I want to understand it. I have 32 and 6/10, 32 and 65/100, and 32 and 7/10, okay? Or I have 326, 327, and 326.5 in the middle. So now is when I'm going to take a peek. I want to look at this number next to it. Give me a better color. There we go. Thank you. I want to look at this because this ultimately determines what happens to this 326, doesn't it? So let's look at this this guy here then. Let's expand it out 1 over, and I have 3269. And so I want to come down here and I'm going to put this into my number line. I have 326, 3265, 327. If I really wanted to, I could put a 0 there. That might help me understand this in context. I have 3269. I know 3269 would come right underneath this 3270 if I was counting up. So my number here is 3269. And if it's above that halfway point, I'm rounding up. And so my number is then, my rounded number, 32 and 697ths rounded to the nearest tenth is 32 and 7/10. Okay? Okay. Let's try that again for a different number. Let's try for the hundredths. I have my tenths. I have my hundredths. I'm going to isolate that. And how many do I have? I have 3,269 hundredths, and you can say, "Oh, how is that, Mr. Apple? What in the heck is that?" Let's say I had $32.69, and I was going to pay you all in hundredths or pennies. How many pennies would $32.69 be? That would, if you think about it, that would be a lot of pennies, wouldn't it? I mean, we're talking like a big stack of pennies, $32, and ultimately that would be 3,269 pennies. Okay, so 3,269 hundredths is the same as 32 and 69 hundredths. Okay, it's all the same thing. So anyways, back to this problem. Hundredths, I have 32 and 69 hundredths. I put that down here, 3269. So that's the bottom part of my vertical number line, whatever that is. That's a line, yeah, it's a line. And if I'm going up, if I'm counting up, 3269, or I have 3270. Halfway point, add that 5. 3269.5. Now I'm going to expand it out. I can add a 0 to each one of these to make it relevant if I want to, or make it find it in context. And so now I'm going to build this out. I got to go to the right because that really determines what I'm doing. So I have 32 and 697. So 32697 is higher than 32695. It will go 695, 696, 697, right? 32697. And since it's above the halfway point, that is my answer, 32.7 or 32 and 7/10. Sound good? Okay. Let's scroll down then. What I want to do is I want to scroll down. Hi, thank you. We have a really good word problem here, and I'd like to focus on it. This brings in a couple different skills that we've been working on. So let's try this out. Read the problem. That's the first thing you do. A root beer factory produces 132,554 cases in 100 days. Think about that. Just visualize that. Can you see that many cases of root beer in 100 days? That's a lot of root beer. About how many cases does the factory produce in just one day? Okay, so that's asking us a question. This is part one of the question right here. How many do they produce in just one day? Okay, that's what we got to figure out. And it's asking us to round our answer to the nearest tenth of a case and show my thinking on the number line. Okay, if it's doing this in 100 days, then how many is it doing in just one day? Just one, I would take whatever they're doing in one day and I would multiply it by 100 to find out how many they're doing in 100 days. If I want to find out how many they're doing in just one day, I'm going to take this number here, this 132,554, and I'm going to divide it by 100 to find out how many in just one day. If I'm dividing by 100, this number is going to get smaller, right? It's going to get smaller. And it's going to get smaller by how many digits? By how many places? 1, 2, right? So I'm going to take my decimal there, and I'm going to shift them over 1, 2 to there. So now this is how many they have. They make in one day. They make 1,325 and 54 hundredths of a case in one day. Okay? In one day. Okay, that's the first part. Second part is asking me to round my answer to the nearest tenth of a case. Okay, tenths. So let's take this number, this 1, 3, 2, 5, 5, 4. Let's find out what's my tenth of a place. Tenth place value is right here, right? So I have my ones, I have my tenths. So I have my 5. So this right here is how many tenths I have. Let's do it over here so I have some space. 1, 3, 2, 5, 5. So 13. Ultimately I have 13,255 tenths, and I will go 1, 3, 2, 5, 6. Okay. And someplace in the middle. These are just getting worse. I should focus on drawing my lines better. 1, 3, 2, 5.55 will be middle between this, right? If I did this. Nope. Yep. So now I'm going to expand it out again. Do you remember this? I'm expanding it out. Going over. I'm rounding this number. Putting it in here. 1, 3, 2, 5. 5, 4 would be right here. And so it's lower than that. So I need to do this. This is my number rounded. And this is my number rounded to the nearest tenth of a case is 1, 3, 2, 5, 5. This is my rounded answer right here. Okay? So ultimately, I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. You're finding out where you're supposed to round it to, dissect that number, decompose that number, decompose the number, and then put it in and see where it falls into that number line. Okay. These ones here these are good questions. and it's saying the decimal has 2 digits to the right of its decimal point. Okay, a decimal number has 2 digits to the right of its decimal point, right? So it's a number in the thousands. So if we round it to the nearest tenth, the result is 13 7/10. Okay, so it's saying we have this mystery number, and it has 2 digits to the right. So we have a decimal point, and we have, so I have something, something, something. Okay. And it looks like it's 13, right? I have 13 and something somethings. And if I round it to the nearest tenth, then I'm rounding down. Okay? So, what's the maximum possible value of this number? So what I should do is, just looking at this, I should write what's my middle. It's 13 and 7, 5, right? What's the maximum possible value of this number? Well, it's going to have to be what's just right here. Maximum possible value. Because I can only pick these ones. It's going to have to be this or lower to round to this, right? Has to be this or lower. And I only have 7. I have 7-1. I have 7-2. I have 7-3. I have 7-4, right? So it's either going to be 13, 7, 7-1. 7-2, 13, 7-3, or 13, 7-4. And it's going to be one of those. Well, which one of those? What's the maximum possible value? What's the maximum possible value? Which one's the highest one that I have here? The maximum value I have is this one right here. It's 13, 7, 4. So this is asking me to use words in the number line to explain my reasoning. So then I'm going to explain what I just did. Okay. Anyways, you have to really understand, you know, how number sense, and we've talked about that. We've talked about the importance. So, anyways, do your best on your homework, and I will see you in class. And I hope you did well. Don't get frustrated. Don't bug your parents too much. Do your best. Try it your hardest. If you come to class tomorrow and you're like, Mr. Abbott, I really, really worked on this for, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and I did my best, and I'm not sure how I did, I'm going to be really proud of you. Okay? I'm going to be really proud of you. You don't have to get the right answers. You just have to work hard. So anyways, keep up the great work, and I'll see you guys. See you later. Bye.